Hello, sir.
Sir, good afternoon. Good afternoon, fellow foundrymen.
Good afternoon, Gopi.
IIF Chennai Chapter. Before we start, I am requesting every members to put yourself in the mute, and also you can switch off your video so that we can give a focus on the speaker. And if you want any queries or any point to be discussed, maybe later you can raise it through either chat or through the voice. You can ask it at the end of the session. Thank you very much. Once again, welcome you for the this webinar. And today, safety is very big, important parameters for all our day-to-day life. And I'm sure that today's speaker, hopefully our youngest speaker, would be able to throw a big light on this subject. To start things, I would now request our chapter chairman, Mr. V.K. Raman sir, to formally welcome the gathering, please.
Yeah, thank you, Sendil. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. So it's my immense pleasure to welcome you all, fellow foundrymen, for this wonderful webinar to be made by Mr. Gobinath. Belongs to Ashok Leyland Foundry Division, Sriperumbudur. Ashok Leyland Sriperumbudur Division is made as the model plant with respect to safety across Ashok Leyland plants. So Gopi is the key person who transformed the safety culture from one end to other end. So that's the transformation he did for the past 2 years, and he developed many good safe working practices across the plant, and it is being practiced for about last 2 years. We have been practicing that. So we just want to share the same practice to all the fellow foundrymen. Foundry is a very difficult job where the safety precautions and the safety adherence is must. So to enhance the knowledge on safety adherence and safety precautions, today our speaker is going to present the good practices what we followed at Ashok Leyland Division, Foundry Division. So once again, I welcome all fellow foundrymen. I also welcome the today's speaker, Mr. Gobinath, for this wonderful gathering.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
I request Senthil to introduce the speaker to the forum. Over to Senthil. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, fellow foundrymen. Once again, I think I think before I give introduction, I think Sarah's brief. I think you are going to hear from the man who has practiced all along his subject. I'm sure that the session is going to be wonderful. I got his biodata. I think there are few people who talks about their where they're born. I think his biodata talks about that he's from the Tirchangodu, nearest Namakkal, one of the good place. And he has done his postgraduate in industry safety engineering and environmental science. And he's also lead auditor of ISO 45001-2018 and ISO 14001-2015 standards. And he has done CII EHS Excellence Awards Accessor for the Southern region. And he has got overall about 10 plus years experience in EHS and sustainability experience in the foundry and automobile industries. And currently he is associated as a manager EHS and estate maintenance in Ashok Leyland Limited, Foundry Division. And he is a EHS and sustainability professional. Started his career with L&T Casting Manufacturing Unit located in Coimbatore. Then with Seco Comas, Chennai, and further with LG Equipments Limited, Coimbatore. And he has won gold awards in CII SR EHS Excellence Award in 2022 and Silver Award in 2021. Mr. Gopinath, the forum is yours. Thank you.
Thank you for the brief introduction, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah,
Visible
yeah,
to
yeah.
everyone? Yeah.
Visible.
Yeah, to start with, so our father of nation, Mr. M.K. Gandhi, has quoted, a man who works regularly in a systematic fashion never feels overworked or tired. He knows his limits and is able to do in fair time all that he undertakes. It is not hard work that kills a man, but irregularity or lack of system. So from this quote, I think we could able to sense the systematic progress. It may be applicable to industry or routine life. Of course, since we belong to industry, so we have to take it in industry way. So this once we follow the system in all practices, so definitely we will yield a better result. So that is what the key takeaway from this quote. So to start the session, I would like to I'd like to set the context with the basics. So we'll just run through few terminologies on safety. To start with, what is hazard? So hazard is nothing but a potential to cause injury or ill health. It is a situation, nothing but a situation. So when it comes to risk, the consequence of the hazard is said to be a risk. So some few examples set is on the screen now. So if there is a water, so water is an hazard. If someone fell into the water without knowing how to swim, definitely it is going to be a mishap. So knowingly, unknowingly, so based on the situation, so everyone is under a risk. So that is what the communication here it is. And if second thing is fuel, if you take fuel, if the fuel is taken very near to a fire or to an ignition source, then definitely it is a risk involved. So similar way for car and an accident. Coming to incident, I think here most of the people are a bit confused. So many industries are confused with the terminology incident and then an accident. So if you take in ISO standard definition, so it is a common word. There is no accident and incident. So incident is a common terminology. It is being used across the global. But it is bifurcated into two definitions. One is called accident and then near miss. So if you take accident, any incident which end up with an injury or ill health, it is called as an accident. The same thing which doesn't result with any injury or ill health, it is said to be a near miss or just miss or close call. I think this could given you a better understanding on the definition of incident. Any queries on this?
Or take it up in the last one.
Yeah, okay. So coming to the causes of incident. So what are the two causes of an incident? So mainly there are two major causes. So one is an unsafe act and the second one is an unsafe condition. So there is a theory called accident causation theory, which emphasizes on the composition of the unsafe act and conditions, which is arrived based on the investigation and the many of the case studies. So this is accident causation theory, which was developed by so-called Henrich. So if you take here, so most of the unsafe acts is contributing about 88% of the incidents, whereas balance 12% are related to unsafe condition and then other causes. So normally the industries operate with a different scenario. If you do the analysis of the entire incidents, so our scenario is vice versa actually. So unsafe condition will be on the higher side, then unsafe act will be on the lower side. So which is not right actually. So how to mitigate this unsafe act and conditions? So here I will be covering the three major headers. So one is on the safety culture front, and then the robust safety system, so which will be taken up through the addressed high risk activities, and then the so-called enhanced facilities. So of course there are a lot of other ways, but here in this session I'll be covering the three major headers. Of course, these three major headers were taken into consideration for transforming our Sri Perumbudur unit as a model safety plant. To start with, so we found where we are in terms of safety culture. So we conducted a safety perception survey to understand our current level and the employees' mindset. So we have defined a number of series of questionnaires to understand their personal behaviors and then cultural part. And then in terms of organization front, how the organization is supporting on safety front. So based on these four headers, around 100 plus questionnaires were set and it was led for a survey. So based on this survey, so we could able to analyze the results and find out whether in which ladder, in which stage we are in on the safety culture curve. So this is a safety culture curve. There are 4 stages actually. So after this survey, our Sri Paramudur plant fall under stage 1 and stage in between stage 1 and stage 2. So it is between reactive and dependent role. It is nothing but the safety operates under a supervisory control. So as we aspire towards the maturity level, we have to cross the independent and interdependent. So interdependent is considered as a maturity level, wherein each and every employee has to be act as a safety officer. So nothing but each and every activity he is carrying out should be done in the sense of safety angle. So that is the maturity level we aspire. And based on the outcome and understanding in which the safety culture curve, the strategies were formed across the organization, and then we could able to formulate the goals. What are the actionable items which which are supporting to the maturity level? So that is how our strategies and goals were formed. So I would like to show some video on how the near-miss or unsafe conditions have resulted into a major accident. So this is a real incident which happened in South Korea or Japan, I think 5 to 6 years back. Yeah, from this video, the major failure happened is that the unsafe condition or nearness was not reported to the concerned authority on a timely manner, so which led to a fatality, the woman. So, so it is very important to report all incidents. If you take the picture, so there was an unsafe condition. If you relate to that video, the unsafe condition was that platform was not stable. Maybe the unsafe act would be the two air hostess who were stepping on the platform was not reporting those incident to the concerned authority. In fact, that will fall under both unsafe act and nearness. So finally, it led to an accident. So how to enable reporting of an accident? So there are multiple ways. So first thing is that safety ownership. So one should own the responsibility of safety. And then if there is a system in place, so they have to adhere it to. So in many ways, it is we can call it as a escalation matrix of reporting an incident, and to what level of authorities we have to report certain accidents. And then we can drive it through the mandate safety KRAs. And then we can emphasize the importance of reporting through various safety displays in the shops. Of course, being a foundry industry, so we face a lot of challenges in floating manpower, so-called contract labors, so that we can implement a system, safety performance system to them, and through that system, we can get the number of incidents. And then how the reporting mechanism might be QR code or mobile apps or internet or digital, whatever digital platforms. So if you take the fifth three strategies, so first strategy will be on the safety ownership. So we have taken four goals on the safety ownership front. Yeah. First thing is on the behavior-based safety training. So we covered 100% executives and our employees on the behavior-based safety training, wherein we formed the systematic program so that after training. So request participants to be on mute, please.
Sir, please put yourself mute, sir. It is disturbing the speaker. Right, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So we have formulated the BBS program structure. So wherein we haven't stopped after the training. So we have identified a number of observers from the shop floor team. So their role would be observing the at-risk behaviors. The basic agenda, the agenda on BBS would be converting the at-risk behavior to a safe behavior. So wherein we have identified the number of observers. So the observing the at-risk behaviors. So at-risk behavior is nothing but unsafe act which is being carried out by the employees. Like for example, non-adherence to PPEs or a deviation from SOPs. So usage of improper tools, etc. So based on that observations, so the assessment on observed at-risk behavior will be done, so that the all at-risk behaviors will be accumulated and actionable points will be taken. Like that particular concern guy who was involved in the deviation will be called for an counseling. He'll be educated on the deviation what he has carried out. Then after that counseling, so he will be under monitoring, wherein how safe his behavior is. So that is how the BBS structure is formed in our plant. So after this, so we used to have a monitoring on that particular guy, and then yeah, he'll be converted into safe behavior. So this is applicable. This is a continuous process. So likewise, we have covered all executives. So wherein it is not a one-time job. So we will be conducting the frequent sessions on a yearly basis. Coming to mandate safety training. Training process flow for mainly targeting on the casual laborers and trainees. So the defined training process flow will have a systematic approach on the induction programs, wherein they will be undergoing the mandate programs on general safety, fire safety, and material handling, and then job-specific trainings. So after this induction, they will be deployed in the shops, wherein after training, So their training records is being monitored through online, and it has been interlinked with the biometric system. So once in every 6 months, so the particular employee should undergo a mandate safety training. That is how we defined the training process. And then after this is a classroom session, so kind of thing like mandate training. So mobile safety training, we introduced a mobile safety training, which is nothing but a refresher training. So this will be on-job training, wherein rather than communicating the importance on safety or SOPs through oral communication, so we have provided a mobile safety concept wherein the TV will be fitted, where the content will be displayed in a visual or video form, so that the importance of the message will be more sensitized to the employees rather than communicating through oral. So with this mandate safety training, so we have last year we have covered 100% of the employees on the job specific training related to safety. So this is being, of course, this is being used for our routine process training as well. This modules. Yeah, coming to third one, the 100% safety KRA. 100% safety KRA for all executives. So this would have not happened with the drive of top management. Yeah, this would have not happened with the commitment of top management. Yeah, our management focuses on 100% KRA to all of the executives, wherein the monthly review on KRA. It's a request
Dear
participants to be
participants,
unmuted.
please mute yourself, please.
Yeah, 100% KRA on safety has a weightage of 10% of overall KRA. So wherein that monthly review of KRA is done by the reporting manager, and it is being linked with the performance appraisal also. So coming to the manager mission concept, this is nothing but a Jishu Hojan is one of the pillar of TPM concept, so-called autonomous maintenance. So the manager mission concept is nothing but owning the machines by the shop managers. So rather than owning the machine by the operator, basically in a TPM concept, the operator should own the machine, wherein here the manager will own the machine. He will demonstrate the 7-step practices on TPM. And then once after the demonstration, he will be handing over the machine to the operator. So with this method, the importance and the commitment on safety by the management will be sensitized more to the employees, so that they will be practicing the same throughout their employment. So this is the concept which we have taken up from the Mahindra Foundry, and then we have implemented in our plant. So I have one short video on the safety ownership. So this video shows how I should own the responsibility on safety. Coming to the second strategy, that robot safety system. So we have formulated 4 goals under this strategy. So one is addressing the high risk activity, nothing but risk assessment portion. So wherein the risk assessment has been done by the shop in charges. So many of the industries carry out the risk assessment with the support of safety officers or EHS profession. But since being to impart the importance on safety ownership, the risk assessment of the entire process was done by the shop in charges. And then the periodic review and the revision of a risk assessment has been monitored whenever there is an incident or any modification from the process or a new addition of the facilities. So we have set an annual target of reducing the risk priority number so that all high risk activities will be converted into a medium or low. So this is how we started addressing the high risk activities. Of course, we bucketed under into three categories of high risk activity. One is addressing the high risk activity by the interdepartment, and then by the supporting functions. Second is addressing the high risk activity by the supporting functions, so-called maintenance or project department. And then third one is the budget facility. Some high risk activities would have required some budget facility to reduce the risk. So under these three buckets, we have addressed the high risk activities. As of now, we have controlled around 63% of high risk activities into a medium or low. Of course, I don't have the data in this slide. So I would like to understand how the solutions or CAPAs are arrived from the unsafe conditions and incidents. I think most of the industries, not all, most of the industries would be concluding the CAPA in a traditional way. Like the solution will be on the PPEs, adherence to the PPEs, or defining the new PPEs, or introducing the new PPEs. And then probably in the next level would be the administrative controls like SOPs or warning displays, posters, etc. So, but we forgot to take actions on the engineering front or a recurrence. So there is a systematic approach, so-called hierarchy of controls. So wherein five steps are there for any observations on safety to take CAPA. So if you find any abnormality, so the first thing it should come to your mind is to eliminate. How to eliminate? So that is the first level of control. And then the second is the reduction or replacement of the hazard. So substituting the hazard. Then third is the engineering control. And fourth one is the administrative and PP. So if you take the most effective part is elimination, substitution, and engineering control, wherein the administrative and PPE is not coming under the POKEOK. So the probability of failures is more on administrative control and PPEs. So there is a video on how the risk assessment is being carried out in an industry. Okay. I request all the industry fellows to follow this hierarchy of controls. So for any abnormalities, not only incidents, you should follow this mechanism to address the unsafe condition as well. The second part is the safety audit system. So we have defined a robot mechanism on safety audit. So we have a three-layered audit system wherein the shop floor level executives will be part of the audit mechanism. So they will be having a target of conducting minimum one safety audit in their specific area in a week. So it is a checklist-based audit. So the outcome has to be how the ownership evolves in this mechanism is that the person who observes the abnormality has to close that abnormalities in coordination with the concerned department in charges or relevant stakeholders. So where here we emphasize more on the safety ownership. So not only identifying the abnormalities, he will be owning the responsibility of closing those points as well. And coming to change management, this is one of the key pillar of our success. So we had a process flow of a design approval stage, wherein if any modification or new machineries or facilities are getting into the factory, so safety team will be involved in the RFQ stage, right from the RFQ, and then the design finalization stage. Of course, after PO and installation, we will be engaged in the sign-off stage. So this will eliminate, this will address the most of the safety issues after installing the equipment or machineries in the system. So this is one of the mandatory requirement for ISO 45001 standard. So in fact, this will result in a better safety work environment. Of course, in terms of the employee front, the morale will be improved. So rather than taking action after the installation of machineries, if a machineries comes with all equipped safety features, of course, the employee will be happy. And then one unique program we introduced this year, this is called a risk prevention program. So wherein a monthly theme will be carried out throughout the calendar. So we have defined 12 monthly themes for calendar year. And then the EHS Bytes is being released on a daily basis based on the theme. So if you take this month, it is EOT crane, overhead cranes. This month we have a overhead crane theme. So all bytes will be released based on the overhead cranes, hoist, and EOT cranes. So the entire factory will be done. The audit will be done throughout the entire factory based on the theme. And then awareness will be created among all employees, not only all employees, to the specific job specific training on the theme. Like for example, if you take this EOT crane or overhead theme, the crane operators will be given training, and the medical examination on their eyesight, or all those things will be carried out in the month. So like we used to conduct a quiz on EHS Bytes, and then engaging the employees through various programs on the risk prevention programs. Of course, the employees were rewarded and recognized on the risk prevention programs. So some of the glimpses of this program. So we used to display a theme at a prominent locations inside our factory. So we have a communication center in all departments, wherein the EHS Bytes and safety incidents have been displayed in the shops. Of course, we will be displaying the EHS Bytes and the theme on canteens and shop floor TVs. Of course, it's a safety pledge. We have been taking daily safety pledge, and the top management commitment is one of the key pillar of our success. wherein our planted and business it used to participate in the weekly, at least once in a week on safety pledge. And then glimpses on the safe shop floor training using mobile safety training modules. Coming to third goal, unsafe condition mitigation. So this year we have taken a target of addressing 100% unsafe condition closure rate. So currently we are at our closure rate is around 81%, which is cumulative of last year and this year closure percentage. So this was in the year beginning we were our closure rate was around was about 37%. So the vigorous review by top management, weekly review on unsafe condition closure by our planted made up to 81%. Currently, we are at 81%. So we not only stopped capturing the unsafe condition. So of course, we started reporting all the unsafe conditions through Ashok Leyland productive system. We have one safety pillar. So under that safety pillar, everyone used to report the unsafe conditions. Capturing this capturing is happening through a QR module and then a mobile app. So we have an internal software, a mobile app to capture those abnormalities. And then define targets for closure. Of course, we have a target of 100%. So weekly review by our weekly review on the unsafe condition closure by our planted was a key success of this goal. So coming to that service provider EHS rating system. So actually most of the industry, foundry industries operates with CL, which is a big challenge to handle the contract labors. So in 2021, we introduced this system, so which is nothing but a performance evaluation system on a service provider. So initially, this performance system was started with 7 major contractors. So like the selection of contractors are based on their nature of job, which is being carried out in our practice, like maintenance technicians, technical service provider, and then the contractors, those who are engaged in the core productions. So we have engaged them into this system. Their performance was reviewed on a monthly basis. So this performance was evaluated based on 2 categories. One is a leading and lagging indicator. Some of the few criteria on leading indicators, we used to monitor the statutory compliance of the service provider, and then PP compliance, and then unsafe condition, unsafe act, and near miss reporting. We used to give a positive mark for reporting the unsafe act and conditions and the near miss reporting. And then the level of emergency management, the knowledge level of emergency management we used to evaluate for the service providers. And then the commitment of contractors management and their participation in the system, on safety system, is being evaluated into the system. And then how the employees are motivated through the system. And we also invite the suggestions from the employees through the system. So here, these things falls under leading indicator, wherein the lagging indicator is a negative portion. So where the number of injuries or deviations, so the scores are being reduced based on the number of injuries or deviations. So we have a stringent interpretation. The scores will be released on a monthly basis. So currently we have around 13 service providers into the system as on date. Coming to that interpretation part, we used to give a monthly score. At the year end, the particular service provider should not be less than 50. So if they fall under less than 50, their business will be under question mark in the next financial year. And then if they fall between 51 to 80, yeah, they need attention on the improvement part to get into a green zone. On if they score more than 80%, the standardization and sustenance is more important to achieve 100%. This is how this system operates, and I think this system is horizontally deployed to all Ashok Leyland plants. This yielded a better result, and of course, the injury reduction is enormous, and we could able to feel the benefits of the system. Yeah, coming to that visual factory. So we focus more on uplifting our shop floor visuals. I'll be just running through 2 or 3 shop floor visual controls which we implemented. We introduced dojo boards in all shops. Around 9 dojo boards are there are in place in shop floor, like Lotto, fire safety, material handling, lifting tackles, electrical safety, and then chemical safety, so etc. And then coming to shop floor visual displays, so we have enormously introduced a number of displays inside the shop floors, wherein by seeing those posters, at least the employee behavior changes are happening. So that is how we improved a number of visual displays in the shop floors. Like for example, not only we restrict with the cautions or warning displays, we have displayed a PP matrix and SOPs on safe working procedures, and then work instructions, and we have machine-wise Lotto procedures which is being displayed in the machines, and we have displayed the hazards and risk in the particular machine, so that the operator can sense the hazards and risk involved in the machine, and what are the controls to overcome this risk. So that poster we have displayed in all machines, so that the operator will be happy to work that our machine is inbuilt with so and so safety features. Coming to the facility enhancement, yeah, we had done a lot of safety feature introduction in all missions. One such example, the Susha cold box core making mission, span missions. So by design, it was not a inbuilt safety. It doesn't have that inbuilt safety measure. So we have introduced light curtain sensors and fencings behind the machines. So of course we upgrade our safety features from the old machines as well. So coming to that melting shop, we do monitor the hygrow, that humidity level, wet bulb and dry bulb, wherein the hygrometer is fitted and the humidity level is monitored. So this will sense the employees how much water he has to intake during the high humidity and low humidity. This kind of awareness we have created in the shops. And then coming to that height work facilities, our facilities fitted with fixed lifeline system in all roof buildings. And then we have created Vertigo facility. Vertigo facility is nothing but undergoing the medical examination of height work person, wherein he will be engaged in carrying out the simulation setup. So his mental health will be assessed whether he is capable enough to carry out the height work or not. So based on the medical fitness, we'll be issuing the height work pass. So this will be ensured during the work permit clearance. In addition to that, we have a roof. All our rooftop access ladders are fitted with the gate entry lock system. That without the knowledge of security or safety, no one will be allowed to work on the rooftop. So since it is a high risk activity, we have such control on this. And then coming to safety digitalization, we have an in-house incident reporting app, so which is being used to report all unsafe conditions, actions, and incidents through this app. And then we have abnormality capturing through QR code as well. Coming to that safety simulation modules in skill development center. So we have set up simulation modules similar to the fettling operations, and then core shop, electrical safety, and chemical safety. So our STC caters with all these simulation modules, wherein during induction, the person before the person gets deployed into the shops, they will be undergoing these modules. So after the evaluation, they will be deployed in the shops. So I'll be just covering on the hazards and its controls specific to Foundry. I'll just run through these slides. In general, there are 5 occupational hazards. So one is a physical, mechanical, psychological, chemical, and ergonomics. I'll be covering the 3 major hazards, which is physical, mechanical, and chemical in this session. So coming to physical hazards, normally the noise, vibration, hot and cold, and illumination and dust are the physical hazards. When it comes to Foundry. So noise, the sources of noises are mold vibrators or shakeout or air gouging machines, angle grinders, short blastings, and shakeout. So these are the approximate decimal value. How these decibels can be controlled? So before going into control measures, I'd like to embark on the legal front, wherein there are certain norms on the decibel level. Of course, there is some amendment which is yet to be released by the government. So if a person is continuously exposed to an noise hazard for about 8 hours, the decibel level should not exceed 90 decibel. So this is a basic criteria, which is as per Tamil Nadu factory rule. Though no one should be involved in any such activity if decibel level is more than 115 decibel. So there are 2 type of noise. So one is a continuous and then impact. Here I have just listed out the continuous noise. So if you refer the Tamil Nadu factory rule, there is a criteria for impact noise as well, wherein other industries like automobile industries, it is applicable, the impact noise. So coming to that ambient noise. So this Tamil Nadu factory rules cover source noise, wherein this noise rule covers the ambient noise. There is a difference between source and ambient. So ambient is nothing but the outside the operation area within our boundary. Source noise is the machines, the noise is where the noise is generated from the particular machine. There is a criteria for both source and ambient noise. If you take that ambient noise, if your company is located in an industrial area, there is a limit for day and night time. So daytime, the ambient noise should not exceed 75, and nighttime 70. Likewise, commercial, residential, silent zones, there is a limits defined by the PCB. So coming to effect of noise, so once we exposure to continuous noise, so a lot of health issues will be arising, like hearing loss and high blood pressure, and then labor breathing, stress, and mental irritability and fatigue. So some of the symptoms are the noise level, the low noise level which you hear from the air. So that is the initial triggering point of the hearing loss. the familiar noise sounds are muffled. So that is a symptoms of starting stage of those hearing losses. So you won't hear the normal speaker's voice. I mean, your neighbor voice during your regular conversation. So those are the symptoms of the hearing losses. So whenever you work on the high noise area or when you visit to those areas, it is strictly advised to wear the appropriate ear protections. So there are a number of ear protections available, like earplugs and ear muffs. These are the two common things. Apart from this PPEs, there are a lot of engineering controls we have to focus on it. So you have to map the risk and then assess the sources, how it can be reduced, that noise level can be reduced. So based on those outcome, so we can arrive the controls from the hierarchy of control. If you take this example, so this is a running motor wherein the employee is continuously exposed to this motor. This is one of the engineering control wherein the barrier, the acoustic enclosure can be fitted in between this person and the motor. So this is one of the engineering control where PPE is not required. So such kind of controls we have to implement. And then routine periodic maintenance of the equipments plays a vital role. So as per Tamil Nadu factory rule, the person who was exposed to hazardous operation, the audiometric check has to be carried out on the defined frequency. The frequency varies upon the based on the certifying surgeon advice. Then coming to vibration. So this is very common to foundry, wherein that mold vibrators and then in fettling activity that angle grindings are used for surface grinding, the short blastings and then shakeouts. So these are the common areas where the employees are frequently exposed to vibrations. So there are two type of vibrations. One is segmental and then whole body vibration. So this is nothing but the transmission of mechanical energy from oscillating source. So coming to source and level of impact, these are the sources, generation sources of vibration in foundry. Like I said, molding vibrators and then fettling activity, the angle grinding activities, and then short blastings, impact wrenches, and the manual decorings, hammerings, and drilling, heavy moving machineries. So the level of impact varies upon based on the nature of job. So some of the health effects of the vibrations are the common health effects are hand-arm vibration system. We used to call as HAVS. So it is nothing. The impact will be on the fatigue side, and then second is the tingling and numbness and white finger. These are the pictures illustrates the tingling, white finger, and then disorders of the spine. This is a symptoms of HAVS, nothing but hand-arm vibration system, which is a common disease. So that normally when a person is exposed to a continuous vibration, there will be loss of sense or touch. So there will be severe pain in the joints. So he'll be sensing the severe pain in the joints. Then loss of gripness in the strength, wherein while holding the hand tools or the tools, so there will be a loss of grip for him, and then wrist will be very painful. So these are the some common symptoms of HAVS. How to control it? So make sure the equipments or machineries or hand tools which generate the vibrations are fitted with the damping devices like grippers. And then in markets, there are a lot of hand tools are available with less vibrations. So wherein it's time to convert through the old equipments and replace it with the latest one. So, and then continuous training, and then the implementing the engineering controls. This is nothing but the replacement of old tools with the latest one. So this will reduce the exposure to vibrations. Coming to hot and cold, this is a common thing in foundry, wherein the hot areas, the furnace operations and pouring, and then heating of molds and cores and decoring. These are the common areas where the employees are exposed to hot environment. So in some plants, they'll be handling the cryogenic liquids, or in the form of pellets. They'll be handling the cold liquids as well, the cryogenic liquids. So this will create the level of impact on the employees. So some of the common impacts on heat is cramp, exhaustion, stroke, and frostbite in terms of a cold hazard. Some of the health hazards are again, it is very similar to the vibrations. So on the cold front, so this will create the readiness and itchiness and feeling on the skins. Of course, if you expose it to the cold, extreme cold environment or cryogenic liquid, so you may end up with a frostbite, or sometimes you should lose the limbs as well. Some of the symptoms of frostbite. This is on the cold handling areas. Let's run through this, and then some of the prevention controls. So here, so one of the major improvement which we have done in our plant is that we have provided air handling unit for the furnace operators. So which reduces ambient temperature by 5%. So wherein the employees are very much comfortable in wearing their PPEs while working in the furnace. And then provide sufficient time for workmen to adjust to different temperatures. And then one of the key significant control which has to be considered in furnace operation is shift rotation or rest pass. The particular job person has to take a rest or job rotations in terms of working in the furnace or other hot working environment is concerned. The frequent fluid intakes is one of the major controls. And then, of course, use of appropriate PPEs is one of the key thing. So rather than, of course, we have a lot of engineering controls in furnace and the hot equipments. But end of the day, the PPE will save us because we can't avoid the spillage of metals while charging the raw materials. So this will be protected by with the help of PPEs. So to make employees more comfort in wearing PPEs, that air handling unit is one of the key facility. So coming to inadequate elimination. So there is a IS standard called IS 3646. So there are in that standard it talks about the foundry operation as well. So there are two lighting levels which was defined in the particular illumination IS standard. In charging floor, pouring, shakeout, and grinding activities, the minimum lux level is 300. Wherein that molding area and inspection area, that minimum lux level is 500. This lux level is strictly restricted on safety front. This doesn't cover on the quality. You have to refer the appropriate standard for the quality inspections, all those things. So some of the health hazards, yeah, if there is inadequate illumination, yeah, of course, visual fatigue, and then double vision and headaches and painful irritations are the common health effects. Some of the controls is that, so of course, a recent trend is that the utilization of natural lighting is one of the key initiatives where most of the industries are focusing on it. Shop floor increase more polycarbonate sheets to utilize more natural lighting. This will benefit in multiple ways. One is in energy saving, and then providing the sufficient illumination to the operators or employees inside the shop floor. And then periodic cleaning of transparent sheet is more important since we are the foundry industry is prone to dust and particulate exposures. So the periodic cleaning has to be carried out. And then routine maintenance on lights and fixtures, and then painting ceilings. So most probably normally the industry will be painted in white color so as to increase the illumination level. So that is what here it is mentioned, painting ceilings and walls with suitable color. So cleaning ceilings, walls, and light fixtures. Of course, the routine maintenance and building thing also will benefit in the better illumination. Coming to dust, so silicosis is a very common disease, common occupational disease, notified disease as per Tamil Nadu Factories Act when it comes to foundry industry. There are two type of dust we can categorize into two. So one is a visibly seen dust. So wherein that micron level will be 10 to 100 microns. The invisible dust are more dangerous. So which are invisible to our eyes, but it can directly easily enter into our lungs and may cause damage. So there are three mode of entry into our body when it comes to dust. So one is inhalation through nose, and then ingestion through mouth, then skin contact. These are the three common route of entries into the body. So some of the sources and its level of impact. So sand plant, mold making, melting operation, shakeout, grinding operation, and shot blasting. These are the areas where the dust exposure is high. So the controls, if you come to controls, the very most common thing is installing the number of dust collectors inside the shops. So this will improve the uh, ambient level inside the shop floor, and then periodic monitoring of indoor air quality. So this will benefit in the better environment of on dust front, and then usage of appropriate PPEs. So normally, if you refer that visible and invisible dust, so we can protect from visible dust. We can move away from the visible dust. Wherein on invisible dust exposure, we have to adhere to the PPEs. Of course, the PPEs is also one of the key controls in this when it comes to dust. So, and then periodic monitoring of the dust extraction systems through anemometer. So that will help on the dust elimination front. When the periodic medical examination on the particular employees wherein they are exposed to dust. So this is subject to the certifying surgeon. So most of the industries, certifying surgeon recommend to carry out the PFT test, pulmonary function test, wherein this will enable the doctors or employees to understand their capability of lungs. So the frequency of PFT test is completely based on the certifying surgeon. So normally once in 6 months it is done. So based on the industries and the level of exposure, the frequency varies. So coming to chemical hazard, there are a lot of chemicals which is being handled in foundry. Some of the few are resins, hardeners, and then amines, and then some painting applications, solvents are being used, and metal cleaners for cleaning the dyes, all those things. And the level of impact, of course, chemical itself is an hazard. So a lot of risk are involved in this. So the worst case is a cancer or asphyxiation, the nervous system problem. So a lot of chemicals are highly sensitive in nature when it comes to foundry. So we have to take a lot of precautions on this. So some of the potential health risk of hazardous chemicals are we have to understand the what type of chemicals, then the amount of exposure threshold TLV. We have to understand the TLV, and then we have to define the duration of exposures. So if the chemical is on the if the TLV is on the higher side, and then the route of entry, yeah, the lot controls we have to implement. So of course, this will, if we understand these things before handling the chemicals, of course, we will be healthier. So some of the routes of exposure to hazardous chemicals are inhalation, ingestion, absorption, and ingestion. Some symptoms like headaches, nausea, sneezing, fatigue, congestion, sore throat are the common health hazards and symptoms of exposure to chemical. When it comes to control, right from storage, we have to focus on the chemicals. So the compatibility study has to be done on the storage area, wherein the study, the result of the study would be the storage, where the flammables and the corrosive chemicals, in what method it has to be stored. So like that, we have to come to a common conclusion, and the storage has to be done such a way that it doesn't create any hazard harm to the employees in terms of fire and as well as the health is concerned. And then in terms of awareness level, all chemicals would carry MSDS. So those MSDS, so most of the employees will not be familiar with those MSDS. To make it familiarize, we have to extract the key elements from the MSDS and display it in the particular area where the chemicals are stored or handled, so that the guys, the employees will be much more familiar and understand, familiarize on the chemicals and understand the hazards and consequence of those chemicals. So this is highly recommended to display or educate their employees on the MSDS front, only on the key parameters like fire precautions and what are the PPs has to be used, what type of controls in terms of spillages has to be carried out. So all those parameters has to be displayed in the chemical handling area. And sufficient ventilation has to be provided on the chemical stores. Of course, wherever the chemical is being handled, the IIF shower is mandated. There are many types of showers available in the market, the portable and fixed one. You can choose it based on your convenient, your industry nature. Then when we come to the mechanical and the general hazard, some of the few common hazards are confined space and the electrical safety, the machine safety and cranes and hoist, falling of objects, slips and trips. So these are the few glimpses on the gods. So whenever if you provide a god with an in-house, so it is suggested to refer the IS standard. There is a IS standard available, which clearly indicates the spec and what type of gods can be fitted with what type of machines. So when it comes to confined space, yes, I think STP and ETP, septic tank cleaning, and then the overhead tanks cleaning involves the confined space activity. So we have to be more conscious, and before engaging the employees into those confined space, the ambience and atmospheric level has to be monitored through multi-gas detector, whether it is suitable for them to carry out those activities or not. When it comes to sources and impact, yeah, outdated machines, unsafe design, poor maintenance, slippery or wet floors, entanglement, usage of rings and chains, so fall of objects. So this may lead to several type of injuries or illness to the employees. So when it comes to control, adapting to the hierarchy of controls is one of the significant thing. And then routine maintenance and periodic checks on the machines is one of the key factor. And then training, engaging the employees with the appropriate training. So that is one of the key contributing factor on this controls. And then good housekeeping and 5S culture will definitely result in a better working environment. And in addition to that, all safety features should be highlighted in a different color so as to understand that this is a safety feature, like it should be painted in a yellow color. So coming to medical surveillance, to know the hazard, how the worker is exposed and how work is affected. So there are certain criteria where the hazards are, how the hazards are known to the employees and how exposure it is, how they are exposed to it, and how the exposure level and how much duration they are exposed to the particular hazard. So such a way the medical surveillance has to be monitored, and then the database of the employees has to be maintained in our OHC. So here in Sri Parandur plant, we have a database for all employees wherein their medical records are uploaded in the system, and it is being analyzed whenever they visit to OHC. So coming to healthcare programs, we do conduct one program on health front in every month. In a year, we used to conduct 12 health programs. Apart from this, we used to carry out the medical examination, which is done as per the legal requirement. So some of the foundry activities which requires what type of health test and what frequency it is being carried out. If you take in melting, eye test examination is required once in a year, and PFT. So this varies based on the recommendation of certifying surgeons. Yeah, of course. After all this, the organization benefits is the prime ultimate goal. So with implementing all those controls and the strategies which I have shared in the first half of my presentation, this improved and resulted in a better employee moral. And then now employees are happy, much more happier when compared to 2 years back. In terms of work environment front, so we improved a lot in work environment, the shop floor appearance and all those things. And then the reporting of incidents have been improved a lot. You don't believe we get a number of incidents on a monthly. If you take in the numbers, around 500 plus abnormalities have been reported. Again, it is not a positive sign since we are in a improving trend. So we are in a progressing on the transformation journey. So we do accept the unsafe conditions. So maybe going forward, once we reach the maturity level, the level of unsafe conditions and actions should be in the decreasing trend. And then, the knowledge on our employees in terms of safety is also enhanced. Of course, we have a challenge in covering the CLs. So our management is focusing on reducing the repeatability of absenteeism. Yes, and then yeah, it all resulted in a reduction trend of injuries. So this is how our transformation journey goes. Of course, we haven't restricted with this three strategies. Now we are in discussion with revisiting those three strategies and focusing on the next phase of those transformation. So with this, I would like to close this session with a 5 minutes video. This mainly emphasizes on the top management commitment on safety. So if you take when it comes to safety, safety officer or worker cannot completely transform the entire organization. It is possible only if a top management commitment is there. Currently in Ashok Leyland, so we are in a progressing trend. And of course, we have wonderful top management and supporting in Ashok Leyland, maybe forget about the past. Currently, our first priority is safety. So we have an apex level committee we used to call a EHS council, wherein monthly meetings being carried out. One of the board member is also participating in the EHS council, wherein the metrics and the improvements and then the strategies of EHS is being reviewed by the top management for all manufacturing facilities of Ashok Leyland. So before leaving, I'll just play this video. This is a video of Alcoa, uh, one of the American company who transformed the entire business through safety approach.
Okay, I think the audio is not audible.
Audio is not audible, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute, I'll check. Now is it audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's not.
Paul O'Neill may be best known as Secretary of the Treasury under President George W. Bush. But it's a difficult call he made years before that that altered the course of a major American company and literally saved lives in the process.
I can't say that, this is all one group or all another group.
In 1987, O'Neill became CEO of one of the largest and oldest aluminum companies in the world, Alcoa. On the eve of its centennial, the storied corporation was in trouble. Inefficient, rapid expansion had left profits dwindling and morale waning. Putting O'Neill in charge was a big change. In nearly 100 years, Alcoa had never hired an out-of-house CEO. Someone who had not climbed through the ranks of the tightly knit management system and who was not well versed in metal making. The company was in for a surprise with the first decision O'Neill made. Executives and shareholders thought it was bizarre, unorthodox, and indifferent to the bottom line. So what was that decision? Let's find out. When you came to Alcoa, describe what the company was like in terms of its financial situation.
It was a company that was in some difficulty. They had been losing market share and their profits were not nearly good enough to cover their cost of capital.
So what was the first thing you decided to do?
The first day I was there, I asked the vice president who was then in charge of safety, to come and to show me the facts about where Alcoa was. And in those days, they were really quite good in terms of safety. Their injury rate per 100 workers per year was 1.86, almost 2 injuries per 100 workers that caused people to miss 1 day of work. At that time, the national rate in the United States was 5 injuries per 100 workers. So after I praised the vice president for you're really good and you've really done great things, I said to him, Troy, I want you to know something, because this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to say publicly to everybody who will listen to me, people who work at Alcoa should never be hurt at work. We should have 0 injuries.
So you come into this troubled company as this outside CEO, and you say the first thing I'm going to focus on is worker safety. Did Wall Street understand you? Did your board understand? Why is this guy focusing on worker safety?
Well, it took a while. I tell you, the people who've been in the organization for a long time, they didn't say it to my face, but behind my back, they were saying, he doesn't know anything about making aluminum. It's 2,000-degree metal flowing around the plants. There are clanging overhead cranes. There are forklift trucks racing around these massive factory floors, and he doesn't understand. But as soon as the metal prices go down, he'll shut up and we can go on being as good as we already are in health and safety. And I knew I would have that kind of reaction. When first time I came to Wall Street, they invited me to come and have a luncheon meeting with the New York financial analyst community in a big amphitheater down on Wall Street, maybe 250 people in the room. So I got up and I said to them, well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is safety. You know, they were like, what is this guy supposed to be talking about? Margin improvement and, you know, more aluminum in cars and all that. What's he doing talking to us about safety?
You decide to focus on worker safety really as a path of changing the culture of the place and showing that you can always improve at anything. What were you thinking?
I believe that human beings have what I call discretionary energy that they can give you or not. And I don't think they will give it to you if they don't feel that they're treated with dignity and respect every day. If people can say, I'm treated with dignity and respect, a down payment on that is nobody ever gets hurt here, because we care about our own commitment to our safety and we care about the people we work with. And it swells up into everything you do. So it creates a sense of pride about the organization you're involved in.
And then you start asking them for increased productivity and increase and
They give it to you. You don't actually have to ask for it. You need to turn them loose.
Describe how Alcoa did over the course of your tenure.
Well, we went from 1.86 for 100 workers per year having an injury that caused them to miss a lost workday. We got to 0.13. To give you a reference point, the number in health medical care institution in the United States is 5, right?
And now describe what happened to Alcoa commercially, financially under your tenure.
Well, I think we improved the market capitalization of the company 900% while I was there. So we went from basically a company that the market valued at $4 billion to $28 billion in 13 years.
And you attribute that to the start of it was that decision.
It was bringing people together and releasing their energy in a positive way.
So then they believed in you.
Yes.
Yeah. With this, I conclude. From this video, we could able to sense that after taking as a role of CEO of Alcoa, so he started focus only on safety. So the result is that the market capital grew up by 900%, and then the market value grew up from 4 billion to 28 billion. So if a management focuses on safety, so definitely rest all is the history. Yes. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any queries, please.
Yeah. Good evening, all. This is Palay Sumurgan from Ashok Leyland, working with Gobi. And Gobi, very nice briefing on the safety culture transformation. So I have a couple of queries. So
Yes,
while you are talking about the Henrich hierarchy of elimination of hazard. Starting from elimination, the PPE is considered as a least priority, right? No other
Yes.
choice is there, we have to go for PPE.
Yes.
But I could understand in that foundry working conditions, the dust as well as the second challenging one is the amine smell and other thing. So here I am having a feel we are left out with PPE predominantly. Can you throw some light what kind of engineering control can be adopted?
Yeah, definitely a dust. I think in my presentation I will take emphasized on the dust collection system, which has to be installed in the shop floor or the generation source. So, for example, if you take a sand plant, the hoppers and other areas, it has to be fitted with the dust collections on the generation sources. So, this will reduce the dust generation level in the shop floor. When it comes to amine leakage, yes, of course, gold box core making, the amine is one of the prime raw material, which is highly dangerous to human health as well. So two things we have done in our foundry, which drastically reduced the amine leakages. So we addressed the amine leakages. I can't say that 100% elimination, but we controlled the level of leakage from the boxes through enhancing the suction efficiency, and then periodic maintenance of dies. So probably due to the continuous usage of dies, there may be a gaps in the die. So which causes the leakages of amine through those gaps, which will definitely enter into the shop floor where the operators are working. So this is one portion addressing from the source. And then second part, so we have introduced a wet scrubbing system. So wherein the degassings or degassing of amine is being sucked through the ID fan, and it is fed into a wet scrubbing system wherein the dosing mechanism is being happened, and then it is diluted. The amine is being diluted in the wet scrubbing system. So these are the two prime controls we have, and then the major backbone of this is the periodic maintenance of those system. Of course, there is a challenge on it.
So related to this, what are any industry benchmark practice wherever we are using amine? Whatever you explain. Other than that, is there any probable solutions are available or being used?
I think the level of the amine intensity, the chemicals, in terms of chemical, I think there is the alternate amine is available in the market. I'm not pretty sure about it. There are, I think this is one of the alternate solutions which is available. And then so most of the industries prefer wet scrubbing system. So centralized wet scrubbing system with higher capacity of ID fan.
Thank you, Mr. Gopinath,
Yeah,
for giving a very detailed presentations on safety practices followed in Ashok Leyland Foundry Division. So this will be the insight for them participants to use these type of techniques in their industries. So thank you all the participants for patience listening and get the inputs. Likewise, IIF Chennai chapter is conducting like webinars and programs in every Saturdays. They will send them details to your industries, and all these videos are uploaded in the YouTube website. So please go to IIF Chennai chapter in YouTube. You can subscribe. You will get all the details. Thank you once again for all the participants for patient listening. Thank you, Mr. Gopinath. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.